Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today we're delving into the gritty reality of South Sudan, a country grappling with extreme poverty. Join me as we uncover the raw challenges, the economic hurdles, and the incredible strength of its people. Get ready for an unfiltered look into South Sudan's relentless fight against poverty. South Sudan, officially the Republic of South Sudan, stands as the poorest country in the world with a GDP of $3,900,000,000. This landlocked nation in East Africa shares its borders with Ethiopia, Sudan, the Central African Republic, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Uganda, and Kenya. In 2023, its estimated population reached 11,088,796, with Juba serving as both the capital and largest city. In the midst of its dire economic situation, this linguistically diverse nation boasts several language groups, making it one of Africa's most linguistically diverse countries. While English is the official language, numerous national languages, including Dinka, Nuer, Merle, Luo, Madi, Otuho, Zande, and around 60 others, are recognized. The Dinka people, Africa's tallest and most vibrant culture, originating from South Sudan, are recognized as Africa's tallest population. Dinka men typically have an average height of 6 feet 1.83 meters, while women stand at an average of 5 feet 10 inches 1.78 meters. However, their significance transcends their impressive stature. As the largest ethnic group in South Sudan, the Dinka have a rich cultural heritage deeply rooted in their traditional roles as cattle herders and farmers. Their culture thrives through captivating traditional dances and soulful music, preserving a rich oral history. Even abroad, the Dinka maintain strong ties to South Sudan through their diaspora. In a continent renowned for its diversity, the Dinka people exemplify Africa's unique heritage, often standing alongside the Tutsi of Rwanda as some of its tallest inhabitants. South Sudan lacks UNESCO World Heritage Sites, but has 3 properties on the tentative list, including the Dame Zubair slave route, the Sud wetland, and the Boma Badingalo migratory landscape, with each holding historical or ecological significance. The Nile River, the world's longest, flows through South Sudan, primarily as the White Nile, which passes through the capital city, Juba, before merging with the Blue Nile at Khartoum, Sudan. The country is home to over 60 ethnic groups, with the Dinka being the largest, and it has a predominantly Christian population, a legacy of European missionaries who arrived in the 19th century. South Sudan, the world's youngest nation, gained independence from Sudan on July 9, 2011, following a referendum vote for secession. However, the country has faced ongoing challenges, including conflicts over the oil-rich province of Abyei. Tragically, a civil war erupted just 2 years after independence, leading to nearly 400,000 deaths and mass displacement. The conflict was marked by ethnic violence and atrocities, and poverty and humanitarian crises persist, with millions displaced due to violence, droughts, and floods. South Sudan ranks low on the Human Development Index and has one of the world's lowest literacy rates. While the formal end of the civil war in South Sudan was marked by a peace agreement in 2018, the region continues to grapple with persistent challenges. These include ongoing violence, the impact of climate change, and economic instability, all of which have contributed to a concerning rise in hunger. South Sudan has experienced the adverse effects of climate change, resulting in unusually heavy rains and devastating floods. These natural disasters have displaced many residents, leaving them without access to adequate food and clean water. The combined consequences of climate change and conflict have been particularly harsh on vulnerable populations. In 2023, it is anticipated that more than 7,800,000 people in South Sudan will face food insecurity, a significant increase from the 6,300,000 who experienced it in 2022. The risk of widespread hunger and even starvation surpassing the levels seen during the Civil War is a distressing reality. Regrettably, the food crisis will force over 3/5 of South Sudanese citizens to resort to measures like skipping meals or selling their possessions to secure food, with approximately 43,000 people at risk of starvation. Despite the peace agreement signed in 2018, the proliferation of armed groups in South Sudan has continued to rise. These militias often lack control over their forces and fail to protect civilians or assist humanitarian efforts. South Sudan holds the unfortunate distinction of having the highest levels of violence against aid workers. Furthermore, the transitional government has struggled to unify the military and make progress on critical issues. Until stability is fully restored, the risk of a return to conflict looms. Recent floods in late 2022 and early 2023 affected more than 900,000 people and triggered outbreaks of diseases such as cholera and malaria. These recurring floods underline the constant threat faced by a country lacking the infrastructure necessary for an effective response. Despite high oil prices boosting South Sudan's GDP, the nation continues to grapple with significant economic challenges stemming from its civil war legacy. While oil exports constitute 95% of the country's exports, the volume has decreased from 350,000 barrels per day in 2013 to 150,000 in 2022. Additionally, the country's currency experienced a 60% devaluation between summer 2021 and fall 2022, substantially eroding South Sudan's purchasing power. The country's economy is heavily reliant on oil and agriculture, vulnerable to various shocks, including climate and conflict. Despite abundant natural beauty and biodiversity, tourism potential remains largely untapped. South Sudan faces political instability, poverty, and food insecurity. Many lack access to basic amenities, and corruption remains a significant issue. Despite these challenges, there is hope for a brighter future for this resilient nation. Thanks for joining me on this eye-opening journey through South Sudan's struggle against poverty. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of global issues. Together, we can spread awareness and make a difference.